What up? They can't. I just realized you can hear me, but they can hear me too. All right, let's get it. What is up, YouTube? How are we doing today? Let's go Halos. We have a lead. We have a lead. They can hear you now and see you. It's just on a delay.
We do have a lead. It's looking like we might get this win tonight, Nolan. Shohei struck out.
Now? Why can't I hear myself?
Who's coming in?
Hold on. It's gonna be technical diff. Oh, there it is. I have my YouTube open. LOL. I think we got this. I'm getting there. I also have the browser. Yeah. I have the music so loud in my ear I couldn't hear anything. All right, how are we doing on the balance? Can you hear yourselves?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, we're good.
All right, dope. I think we're good. So what is up, boys? How we doing tonight? Angels are winning.
Yeah,
I can't remember the last time I said that.
Man, it's been. What was our last win? Freaking against the Mariners the other day. We lost the series. So first off, the series didn't go well.
Oh yeah.
Even if we win tonight, the series didn't go well.
Yeah.
But
without
it's
a doubt.
good to end it on a little bit of a high note, I guess, right?
Yeah, I mean, 5-0 victory against, it might be against the worst team potentially the worst team in the American League. I think the A's are a little worse, but outside of that, I think it's the worst team in the AL. Oh, yeah. 1 of 3 after scoring 11 runs against them is not really ideal, but hey, what are we going to do? Frank, how we doing? Can you hear you? Frank broke his mic.
Yeah, I can hear you, man. Yeah, totally.
Go.
What's up, guys? How we doing?
The star of Good Morning Baseball. How we doing, Frank?
Yeah. I'm hanging in there, man. We're winning the game, feeling better than yesterday. So as long as we can hold on, man, we'll see.
Hell yeah, man. I assume Reisel's going to come out, but yeah, we'll see. Hopefully you can
Tepera's coming in, right? Because it's bottom of the 8th.
Yeah, Tepera.
Yeah.
Is the bottom of the 8th? That was top of the 9th.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, Tepera's coming out then, but that's who I saw.
Yeah, it's not a save situation. You can't use Reisel in a non-save situation. I'm pretty sure we've established this by now.
Yeah, I think we have, right?
Yeah, exactly. You don't want Reisel in a non-save situation, so...
And that's what analytics tell you.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we'll get to it in just a sec. I do want to say what's up to some of our YouTube chatters. We got my boy Alan Novella coming out. Soxlar. Who else we got in here? Krubby, Austin Young. We'd love to see it. Welcome in, boys. We got some early risers in here. We're going to talk some Halos tonight, talk some shit on the probably the most disappointing team in baseball. I feel like that's been the case for the last, 10 years or so. But, yeah, the most disappointing team in baseball. I think that's a pretty fair title for this team. The game's about to end. Once the game ends, we'll have a lot more to talk about. But we do want to... You never say that the game's over with this team. 5-0 lead in the 9th. Definitely not a guarantee, so we'll have to see. But definitely the best game of the series so far. What do you guys think?
I mean, yeah, like I said, man, we're ending it on a little bit of a high note. I don't think we're losing this game here, so I think we've got the dub tonight.
Yeah,
but the series as a whole, you don't want to lose. You want to take the series against the Royals, the worst team in the American League. And we didn't do that, and so there's a lot to talk about.
Yeah, I agree. It's I don't know, man. It's tough. Every time I think we're out of it, like 4 or 5 against the Mariners, I was like, okay, maybe we're back. At least we can beat bad teams. You can make the playoffs beating only bad teams. You don't have to beat good teams to make the playoffs. You have to beat good teams to win the World Series, but to make a 3rd place wild card finish, you don't have to beat any good teams. Then all of a sudden, we make the Royals look like, the Yankees. It's just
bad. They scored 12 runs yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, so one of my little anecdotes I put out, I think I said it in my Angels rant video yesterday. If the Angels had have scored 11 runs in any of the 14 games in the 14-game losing streak, we would have won all 14 of them. All 14 games, if we had scored 11 runs, we would have won. And the one time we don't The one time we give up 12 runs, we score 11. Like, it's mind-blowing. If we allow 2 runs, we score 1. If we allow 1 run, we get shut out. We're so talented at losing games. It's incredible.
Yeah. Bad.
It's incredible.
See, what's frustrating for me is it's like, who's we, bro? I mean, like last night it was like basically just Ohtani and Walsh kind of sprinkled in a little bit of
Walsh
something there. But yeah,
there.
I mean, Ohtani is just dude. He is going to have some major physical therapy for his back in the future. I mean, he's really carrying a heavy load there. So
it's wild, bro. He carried us so hard yesterday, and we still found a way to disappoint him.
Eight ribs, dude, and we still lost.
How do you lose with somebody given 8 RBIs? That doesn't make any sense. 10 RBIs between 2 players in your lineup, and none of them were named Mike Trout, and we lost.
Bad.
It's just crazy. We do have 1 out in the top of the 9th so far. Tepera hasn't blown it yet.
Waiting on this one to end here.
In the chat, B-Train says, are you telling me we don't have one single outfielder in our minor league system who's better than Lagares?
Yeah.
Let's see.
One single.
Yeah.
I mean
with the way Adell has hit this year, he's hit better in up in the majors than he has in AAA. I'd rather have him out there. I was surprised to see them send down Adell last week, or was it 2 weeks ago, and keep Lagares, who still has 0 RBIs and 0 home runs. He's been on the team for how many weeks now?
Yeah, I think since the second day of the losing streak, I believe. It took us like 3 weeks to win a game with Lagares on the roster. Like, that's pretty impressive to have that big of an immediate negative impact. Like, I understand he replaced Rendon, and that's a big, big shoes to fill, and I don't remember Lagares being this bad last year. Like, low-key, he was probably like the 3rd best offensive player on the team last year, outside of like Phil Gosselin and Ohtani.
Yeah, he wasn't that bad last year, but he's not putting up no offense right now. I don't see how he stays, and that's what I want to talk about too, is we've got a lot of AAA guys in the lineup right now that I think are AAA that like are automatic outs, man. Like the back end of our lineup kind of automatic right now with Lagares and Velasquez.
Yeah, and I don't like when you see a lineup like tonight without Trout in it, it is just it might be the worst lineup in baseball. It really might. It rivals I think the Nationals have a better lineup than we do. I think, what are the bad teams? Maybe the Pirates. No, with O'Neal Cruz up, honestly, I think the Pirates have a better lineup than us.
This is probably the worst lineup tonight in the majors.
Hold on. We got a development. Light that baby up. The Angels win 1 of 3 from the Kansas City Royals. Woo!
We take the dub on World Series anniversary night, right?
I need like a tiny Angels flag to wave.
Man,
Nolan and I
Yippee! Woo! We won 1 of 3 from the Royals.
Nolan, we can talk about the Angels for the next 2 weeks, because we said if they got swept tonight, we wouldn't be able to. We promised we wouldn't talk about them for 2 weeks on Good Morning Baseball. So
yeah, that was one of the promises we made. Let me.
That might save some years on your life.
Yeah. Well, now that the game's over, we can finally kind of dig into what's going on here. I would like to... Damn, I logged out of my Twitter on here. Losing 2 of 3 to the Royals, man. Where does this fall on the embarrassment of the season? I think it's slightly above losing a series to the Orioles, and slightly below, losing 14 games straight. What do you think?
I would agree. Yeah, I was gonna say, I think 14 games in a row definitely supersedes this, but it's not that far off, honestly. The feeling of just disappointment.
Yeah, I mean, at least those 14 losses were to good teams. Not that it, softens the blow, but the Yankees are a great team. Nobody's beating the Yankees right now unless you get lucky. The Phillies were on a hot streak when we ran into them. The Red Sox were on a hot stretch when we ran into them. Even the Blue Jays, the Blue Jays weren't really on a hot stretch. We just kind of blew the game so many times with our
blew
bullpen.
some games, that one.
Yeah, but overall, I mean, I don't know. This is one of the more disappointing series of the entire season to me.
I agree.
Yeah. We'll get into it more.
I think you got to take the series, man. With how things have been going, you got to start gaining ground in the standings because it's already almost July. So should have took this one, but it's good to end it on a little bit of a high note. I mean, who we play here next? Looking at my schedule, who do we got? The Mariners coming into town this weekend.
Mariners and the White Sox, I believe, right?
We played well. Yeah, White Sox next week. So we played well this against the Mariners this past weekend. So hopefully we can take some of these games, win the series.
Yeah, I mean, let me see. I gotta go here.
6 Trout homers in the series. Can he beat 5? Can he do it?
It's not in T-Mobile, unfortunately.
Hopefully, Mr. Phil doesn't bench him.
Yeah, Phil Nevin.
Yeah,
he's not a little bit sore.
Yeah, hopefully he plays every game.
Yeah. All right, so let's get a little. Let's just do a little update here to kind of dive into our situation. The Angels, after this win, positive word, win, W-I-N. Look it up in the dictionary if you're not familiar, Angels fans. 34-38, 4 games under 500. Slightly behind the Texas Rangers in the standings due to winning percentage. They've played a few less games than us. Rangers are 33-35, 2 games under 500. And then the Astros, 11 games up on us with 43 wins, 25 losses. The Angels are currently 5 games back of the wild card as well. And on a 1-game winning streak, 5-5 in our last 10. So we're back to being a 500 baseball club. We're throwing that 14-game losing streak out the window. It never happened. I don't even know. The season ended on May 24th, in my opinion. Just my personal opinion. I refuse to recognize any game that happened after May 24th, but the season resumed today. Let's go 1-0. So, let's talk holes. The Angels have holes everywhere. Let's be honest. The lineup has holes. The defense has holes. The starting rotation has, albeit more minor holes than the rest. And the bullpen has massive holes somehow, even with all the big names we have back there. If you had to pick one hole to address via trade tomorrow, like tonight, you're on the phone, you're Perry Minasian, you call a team up, what area are you going after? And a bonus if you can tell me who you're getting to fill that hole. What do you think?
I'll go first, I guess. So, man, the lineup, dude. If we're not looking, I mean, we sent down Detmers today too, but we're not looking. We need a back end helper. Even we need a better bat cleanup. We can't be batting Mckinnon. AAA call up the other day. I know he was killing it in AAA, but AAA is not the major league. So we got to get a bat, and specifically, if we're not going to call up Adell, if he's going to sit in AAA, I'd say an outfielder or a corner outfielder, or can we move Ward to third? What do you think about that?
I don't hate the idea of Ward moving to third. I mean, I looked it up earlier. I think he has like 350 innings in the majors at third base.
Yeah, he's played it.
It's worth a shot, and he's less likely to get hurt at third base than he is in right field. He's shown he can't stay healthy in right field. I swear, every time he goes for a routine fly ball, it looks like he's on roller skates.
It looks crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Dude looks like he's legitimately on roller skates. And he's got to stay healthy. So I think third base keeps him healthy. It gives Joe Adell a spot to play every single day. And then
And what's up with that? Are we going to call him up?
I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know what the plan is for him anymore. The plan coming into the year was have him start every day. And he looked great in spring training. Then all of a sudden the season started. And after a lukewarm start, his defense just became too much of an issue.
Can he really be worse than Lagares though?
No.
Like,
yeah. Not even a little bit.
What's the point of not having him up?
That's what I'm saying.
Like, yeah, I agree. I think he should be up there 100%.
I feel like you waste an option sending him down rather than just releasing a guy like Juan Lagares, who is batting 183 with a 460 OPS. And that is amazing numbers from Juan Lagares, man. We need to give him MVP of the roster with how well he's been playing. I would say move Ward to third and pick up a corner outfielder. But like we still have really bad back end help in the lineup. Like Velasquez, I know he had a very late jammed hit down the line for an RBI single today, but there's not much help down there in the back end of the lineup. You know what I mean? Either.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I agree. I think like with Velasquez's defense at the very beginning of the season, I was like, okay, he's a 9-hole hitter. It's fine. It's one batter. But for that to be like consistent of 4 to 5 people in the back end of the lineup, all hitting basically as terribly as Velasquez does on a consistent basis, that's unacceptable. Like you just literally cannot win games if you don't have, you know, any semblance of consistency or decency in that back end. So I mean, I would like to see, yeah, like you said, I mean, either Ward move to third or we pick up someone for that lineup spot, and, you know, third base as well. Maybe someone in the middle infield who's, I don't know, not Tyler Wade. Probably be a start as well. So but there's so many holes, so it's like hard to pick one thing to address, but
yeah,
it's a lot.
And with the Tyler Wade slander, look, he went to my high school, man. The guy was so
got a
good.
Soft spot,
but he can't hit. He's just,
bro.
he can't
My
hit.
problem with Tyler Wade is I got a list of things that Tyler Wade does well. He runs fast.
Yeah,
He can get down a bunt. I'll give him that. He can get down a bunt. Here's a list of things that Tyler Wade, that's the end of the good list, by the way. Here's a list of things that Tyler Wade does awfully, well below league average. Like couldn't even hold a AAA roster spot. Defensively, he's garbage. He's garbage. He's not the worst defensive, you know, in middle infielder I've ever seen in my life, but he's below average, without a doubt. Base running, he's awful at it. How can you be fast? Like, Terrence Gore has been on like 3 World Series caliber rosters, and he can't hit to save his life. I don't even know if he's registered in at bat. Foolish Baseball did a whole video about him. You can be fast and still be valuable as long as you can run the bases. Tyler Wade gets thrown out. It doesn't matter what it is. He gets thrown out every single time. He could be stealing second base, he gets thrown out. He could be tagging up on a pop fly to right field, he gets thrown out. I don't know if he just doesn't know how to slide into bags, if he doesn't know how to tag up, if he just everything fundamentally wrong with this base running. He's just terrible at it. And if you're going to be fast, you need to be a good base runner.
7 stolen bases, 5 caught stealing. So
that's terrible.
If you're that fast, 50%, a little bit.
That's terrible.
Yeah. That's terrible
when you're that fast.
When that's all you can do too. When you're not doing much offensively, like you got to be. OPS. Yeah.
Yeah, look at Julio Rodriguez. He leads the league in stolen bases. How many caught stealing does Julio Rodriguez have? Like, probably 5. Probably the same amount as Tyler Wade. I don't know the numbers off the top of my head.
But he's going to be a star.
The dude can't run the bases. The dude can't hit. The dude can't play defense. There's just no spot for him on this roster. If he was a great base runner, I would be fine with him being on the bench. But when I look at the roster, there are 3 players off the top of my head that just shouldn't have major league jobs at this point. You know, one of them's Kurt Suzuki. He's a veteran. Honestly, he's been better this year than I've expected, and much better than he was last year. I don't hate him that much. But then you look at Tyler Wade and Juan Lagares. They just have no spot, no reason to be on this roster anymore. They've had way too many second chances. Yeah. And I will defend Rengifo and Velasquez. Velasquez's defense is good enough to keep him on the roster as a defensive replacement, and he's a little fast, and he's a much better base runner than Tyler Wade. And then Rengifo's young. That's the only thing I really give him, is he has time to, you know, blossom. We saw him hit a nuke. Remember that, Chris?
And talking about Rengifo, I have to address this. I would have rather keep Joe Madden as the manager of the Angels if I knew that Nevin was going to bat Rengifo third. I don't care what world we're in. Batting Rengifo third should not have happened tonight. I know he had 2 hits, but everyone knows it shouldn't have happened. We have to talk about that.
Yeah, no, there's absolutely no shot. I just dragged Ty Guy in. Sorry, I didn't see your messages, Ty.
What's up, you're all good. No worries. What's up, guys? How we doing?
What's good,
Ty,
man?
Frank, I don't think you met. Frank,
How's it going,
childhood
man?
best friend.
Nice
Ty Guy, Angel's friend from Twitter and Twitch and stuff. We were just talking about our biggest needs on the roster. We have plenty of them. You could pick anything. It's literally We were just talking, if you were the GM tomorrow, what is the first area you address? We were just talking about the lineup, but
Lagares sit down or DFA'd.
Yeah.
I can't stand Lagares. He's like my least favorite player. I tweeted about it. He's my least favorite player in the entire league. I hate him. I can't stand the guy. He drives me nuts.
I don't know why he's on the team, man.
It's crazy. You have a Ferrari sitting in the minor leagues with Joe Adell.
And no, this is the thing too. He's not that great of an outfielder anymore. I'm sorry, but
no.
The reason why he's on the roster is for his potential or former Gold Glove defense, but he's a lot of years from that, so he can't hit either.
He's washed. He's cooked.
It's a brutal sight. Like the dude, and the other thing they mentioned is him hitting against lefties, which he has historically done well against, but we're not in 2016 anymore. Like we just got to move on. And last year too, I think I saw a tweet today. Someone said that he has been last year when we were like playing really well. He came onto the roster and all of a sudden all the wins just went right down. And it's the same thing that happened this year. I mean, that's why he's a big part of the reason why we were on the 14-game losing streak. I mean,
he's like a virus.
He is a virus.
He literally. One thing I talked about earlier too, but it's just the Angels are so incredibly good at losing games, and Juan Lagares is a big part of that. But I think we all agree the lineup is the biggest issue right now, which is crazy because coming into the year, I think I saw there was an article I read at the beginning of the year that called us the best lineup in baseball.
The lineup is really good when we're healthy.
Yeah, and then all it took was a couple of Taylor Ward injury list stints. Somehow Renjifo's breaking his wrist in half and trying to play through it. As soon as Rendon's gone, there's just no depth on this team. So, in my opinion, I do want to toss out some trade candidates out there, though. I'm not a huge fan. Some people have talked about getting Wilson Contreras. I don't feel super strongly about that. I don't think catcher's our biggest need. I think Stassi's at least a starting caliber catcher, and catcher's weak spot on most MLB teams. My biggest guy right now, we got to talk to the Reds, man. We got to talk to the Reds. They have Brandon Drury, who's great, has having a breakout season, and I think he's a free agent next year, so he'd be a rental. Or we could make a Luis Castillo trade and throw Mike Moustakas in there. Moustakas isn't going to solve all our problems. I'm not saying I love Mike Moustakas, but his contract is so fucking awful that he would lower the value on Luis Castillo by taking his money off the books. So I don't know. That seems like a great solution to me. Get some help.
Yeah, that's fair. Back to the Stassi thing though. The one thing is like he seems afraid to swing the bat, like every time he's up at the plate, and I don't understand it.
I can agree with you because I was watching the game earlier and I forgot what inning, but he sat there and watched a slider right down the middle in a 3-2 count or something. And I'm sitting there. I was talking to my dad. I'm like, why is he sitting there looking at this breaking ball? But that I'm disagreeing with you because it's multiple times where he strikes out looking. It's so
all
much,
the time.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's like I'm not mad if you go down swinging. Like, by all means, bro. Like, if you swing and miss on a great pitch, that's fine. But the dude, when it's a fastball inside slider that somehow breaks over the plate, I feel like he's just stuck staring at it. But
he's got to be aggressive. He's got to swing early. He does.
He does. I feel like, I don't know, man. But I agree. The Reds would be great, but I think it's kind of setting we got to set an expectation at this point because we don't know what's going to happen the next month. Like, we could completely fall back down and hit another big losing streak. And at that point, then you really can't do much and trade for a guy like Castillo because there's no point, We'd be so far down that it wouldn't really do much for us. But I think the next 2 weeks, like this next few series with the White Sox and the Mariners, these are going to be very telling series, like for how the rest of the season, or at least until the All-Star break is going to go. I think it's going to be big.
We have to at least get back to 500.
Yeah,
it's a tough point. It's a tough point to be in because, like you said, we could end up being either potentially like buyers or sellers based on the next couple of weeks, and it just sucks to see our lineup and know that we have so many weak spots and think like optimistically that we are going to be buyers still. It's just like it seems like it's so difficult to like imagine that, but I guess like just gotta have hope as fans, see how the next couple weeks go.
We have to. I think we have to. This is why. I mean, you guys know why, but like you have Ohtani. Are we gonna we have to keep Ohtani? We have to be buyers. We can't sell and just call it a season and then hopefully try to make the playoffs next year in his last year. We need to do something now so we can retain.
the past 2 nights just completely showed why we need to retain him. At first, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of iffy on it, but then I just realized how big of an impact he's had, and even then, like, I think he shows the most fire on the team. Like, that's what I really like about him. Like tonight when he hit 13, like fist pump, you know, like all excited. I think it's really big to have that type of energy on the team. And I mean, the dude, obviously, he's a once-in-a-lifetime talent. So I think while we have him and Trout and still in his prime, and you know Ward's playing great baseball, we have to do something. It's this season or next, and then after that, I think it's done. Like it's really gonna go to.
This was that season for me. When we went into this offseason, I was like, okay, I've had excuses for this team for a very long time, and I've been able to defend them on social media to my best ability. But this offseason, Pujols' money came off the books. We had Ohtani had his breakout. Trout was coming back to be healthy. Rendon was going to come back to be healthy. All we needed, there were a huge free agent pitcher class, and I like the Syndergaard move. I like it. It was a good shot to take. He could have been, you know, an ace, and I don't think he's been bad. I think he's been solid. I don't think he's been an ace by any means. Mm-hmm. But like, think about this team right now. If we had, you know, Carlos Rodon at the top of the rotation, or we spent big on Max Scherzer at the top of the rotation. I understand he's hurt, but I would have liked to at least seen them take a little bit of a bigger swing. I did like the bullpen additions, and they were great at the beginning of the season, then completely fell apart. Completely and utterly fell apart. Luke can't miss a barrel to save his life. It's literally he throws a ball and it's magnetically attracted to each person's barrel. It's mind-blowing to me. And then Tepera has been getting lucky, but he is, every underlying metric says Tepera should be terrible and Loop should be good, and then they're flip-flopping their results somehow. But
yeah,
I'm just saying that this was the season to go all in for me, and it doesn't feel like we're at that anymore. You know?
I agree with that. I think it's tough. And I obviously, like, Rendon does not have the best contract in the world, but people don't want to admit it. He does have a really big impact on this team. Like, there's a difference between Rendon hitting and then Matt Duffy. Like, it's unbelievable. Like, I can't stand watching Matt Duffy. He drives me nuts.
Rendon is, if he's healthy, he's a top, I'd say 20 MLB player. So, I mean, he doesn't, I love him in the cleanup spot because he doesn't strike out. And he takes walks. He's disciplined. And I think he's great behind Trout in the cleanups, or batting third or in the cleanup spot. So not having him in the lineup is tough, because then you put Rengifo batting third. And then, you know, it's just bad then.
And I know you said you're a Rengifo truther, but I can't get behind that.
I'm not either. A Rengifo truther. I'm just giving him a little bit of a leash.
He does this every year. He impresses you for the first 2 weeks, and then he comes back down to earth. Like, he'll be hitting like 280, and we're all like, oh, this is the Rengifo year. This is why we kept him and didn't trade with the Dodgers. You know, like that whole Stripling and Jock Peterson deal. And then
I don't think
he's back down and hits 202.
He's never going to be great. I'm just saying he has potential to be a league average middle infielder, a la Orlando Cabrera back in the day, and Eric Ibar.
I don't know about that, man. I don't know.
I'm gonna say
he's like, what is he, like 24?
I'm gonna say he's a decent depth piece, but should not be starting. He should probably be getting a couple starts. He's like a Meister Stirs. Come on, man. You guys remember him?
Yeah, I love it, bro.
Renifo's
he's 25, man.
That feels better.
Cut him some slack.
Rengifo
Taylor Ward was ass until, like, what is he now? 27, 28?
I get it, but he was a first-round pick.
But
yeah.
Ward had shown signs of
and
him
he's shown
breaking
signs
out.
Before. Rengifo does this every year. He'll be like, hey, guys, I'm finally here. And then 2 weeks later, he's, like, hitting 202, like 4 errors. He's not good. I can't get behind him. Velasquez, I've defended for a very long time. But 170 is just, it's not going to cut it.
Nonetheless.
It's atrocious.
Rengifo batting third. I can't
not
believe
third.
so bad. Why? Can someone...
I'm defending him as like a number
third?
8 Adam Kennedy kind of guy. To bring back an 0-2 reference. You remember Adam Kennedy? He wasn't good.
Yeah.
He was a role player, but he wasn't good.
He hit 3 home runs in a playoff game.
Yeah, exactly.
And,
that's all we remember about him.
Not doing that.
Tell me his season stats. Tell me his season numbers in 0-2. You can't.
Man.
He was our number 9 hitter every day.
Should we talk about the hitting coach then? Because you got someone in chat saying, I see a lot of players looking at strike 3 though, not just Stassi. Is that on the hitting coach?
That's
maybe they are being coached not to protect the play with 2 strikes, which I can't imagine. But like, I do think there's a lot of responsibility on that coach, and that he should definitely be fired at this point. What do you guys think?
I thought tough. You can go, bro. Yeah.
No, it's tough because I mean, did you guys see Trout the AngelsWin.com posted the he transformed Ohtani into an MVP candidate, and then he transformed Walsh into an all-star. And I think Trout likes him. If you have your franchise player, liking the hitting coach, it's kind of hard to remove the guy. And there were talks about them not liking Madden behind the scenes, which if they don't like him, that's fine. Like, get rid of him. I was on board with the firing, but I really do think that Wise or Reed should have gone first. But now hearing that the guys like him, it may just be a player issue. And I hate to say it because I don't want to admit that, but guys like Stassi shouldn't be looking at strike 3 every time. I feel like Marsh has been putting up better at bats as of late, but the past 2 weeks there's been kind of things where I'm like, what is he doing? These are not good at bats. And Duffy, I feel like I've rarely seen Duffy put up a good at bat. It's a rare occasion. And I feel like Velasquez makes great at bats, so I will give him that.
Duffy's just a little he's David Fletcher but taller. That's who Matt Duffy is.
I like that.
He's literally tall.
He'll
David
get on
Fletcher.
base. He'll get a single, but he's not doing much more than that. He's not going to hit for much power.
He's a batting average merchant. I used to love Matt Duffy because I would be like, oh, dude, this guy's batting 287. He's probably a good. This was before I knew ball, but I would be like, yo, he's batting 287. He must be a good Major League Baseball player. And he's not terrible. He's not the worst guy on the team. There's bigger fish to fry. But
I think people are underestimating though. Obviously, people make fun of Fletcher's a meme. We love Fletcher. I think people are underestimating how big of a role he would play right now on this team. Imagine having him 9 instead of Velasquez, and then going to Fletcher, Ward, Trout. That's way better than Velasquez is a guaranteed out unless he somehow works a count. It's rare that he gets on base, and when he does, he'll end up scoring.
Are you saying Fletcher leadoff or 9th?
I'm saying 9th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Fletcher shouldn't lead off. No.
All right. No. So I like him in the 9th spot, but Fletcher himself, man, he hasn't. I know he was injured, but I don't know. He wasn't looking, like Fletcher.
But the past few years, he's been like our holding piece together. Really, he has. Last year, you could argue that it was him and Ohtani that kept everybody together, and obviously Walsh. But he really held that lineup together. Even though it looks like a minor league AAA team lineup, half the time they play, I
agree. I agree, actually. I think he contributes a little more than, at the beginning of the year, granted, he did not look like prime Fletch at all. So I guess we're going to have to see, coming off of an injury, whenever he gets back, that's all we really can do. But I definitely think he would be a very welcome presence right now, because literally anyone aside from Velasquez or Lagares or something in the lineup could make me very happy. So it's not hard to do that at the moment, but I think he would very much be a good piece right now that we really need.
Yeah, so. It's tough too, because it's tough with Lagares because obviously we want Adell up, but it's so crappy because he's played well. When he came back up, he played amazing. I was like, there's no way they send him down. But in the grand scheme of things, it kind of makes sense because you want to kind of just raise his trade value when you do trade him off, because he's going to end up getting traded. I really do think. There's no way we hold on to him. Unless Ohtani leaves and then he becomes the DH. It's a tough situation.
But I don't know, what's the value? What's the value at Adell? What do people see?
People overrate
I have
it.
no
I
idea.
really do. I think it's unrealistic for us to get a guy like Castillo. I'm going to be brutally honest. It's just unrealistic.
I just don't know what the value would be for a guy that's hitting 100 in AAA in a hitters league right now. He hasn't really been hitting too well in AAA. Yeah. He's been hitting actually better up in the majors so far this year, and he actually was on a nice little hot streak when he got sent down. And I was like, you're gonna send him down right now, and you're gonna keep Juan Lagares in the lineup? I would have kept them. That was your perfect time to keep him in there, and Perry sent him down. So I don't know, man.
It's It's tough. I like, again, I am the ultimate Lagares slander page. I can't stand the guy, but it does make sense not keeping Lagares up. It does make sense with the whole Adell thing, because we're trying to trade him off. But back to what is his value?
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
I think it's. I mean, obviously, it's not a top 5 prospect like he was.
No.
But I mean, it's the value of a top 100 prospect still. He's still young. He's shown signs of being, a guy who can hit 30 home runs and steal. He could be a 30-30 guy. I think that's his ceiling.
He hasn't looked like a terrible bat. Like,
No.
I think there's definitely I think he could, make that bat above average, or average, shall I say.
Well, imagine if he got shipped to Cincinnati. I think he could go off in Cincinnati. That's a more hitters-friendly ballpark than Coors.
Yeah.
He would do numbers there. In a hitter-friendly ballpark, I think he'd be great. I honestly think he's a perfect fit for the Cincinnati Reds, and I honestly think that makes him a little bit more valuable to them. Obviously, it's not a 1-for-1 Adell for Castillo deal. No one's gonna take that. But
how about this? How about Adell for Tommy Pham and Luis Castillo?
There's no.
It'll be perfect. Trout and Pham, man, out there in the outfield.
Bro, you remember there was some speculation this offseason that Pham was going to sign with the Angels. I think Trout followed him on Instagram or something, and everyone freaked out. They were like, "Oh shit, Tommy Pham's coming to the Angels." Like, bro.
Yeah, no, I'll pass, man. I'll pass.
Oh no, I don't want to put on Tommy Pham.
I'm
That dude seems like just a dude you don't want to spend any time with.
He seems like the guy you don't want in your locker room.
Oh yeah, he does not seem fun at parties.
Yeah.
But,
So I don't know if you guys have talked about it yet. I'm sure it's been mentioned, but where are we on the Detmers train? Where are we at? I got to know where we're at.
He needs time to develop. He still has the makings of a great MLB pitcher, I think. A big strikeout guy. I think he could be... I don't think he's going to be an ace, but I think he could be a strikeout merchant that is a solid number 2 in the rotation when he's old enough. Right now he's like 24, I think. Something like that. I don't even know if he is 24, but he just needs time to develop. We've seen signs of it. I think his curveball is his only major league ready pitch. I don't think he has a second
is 22.
That's that's insane. He has so much time to develop. I'm not worried about him.
I think he's going to be a decent arm. I think he's going to be a decent arm. He's going to come around. He's shown signs of being good this year, and then he had a rough start yesterday against the Royals. So I think it was time. Let him get some work down there in the minor leagues, and call him up a little bit later. But it's also sucks to see him go down after throwing a no-hitter. Like, we couldn't last month, predict any of this. Crazy. But I think it needs a little work. I think he'll be good. I like Detmers.
I do too. I think it's a weird situation though. It really is.
Yeah. I have a question.
Of Canning.
I was gonna say, where's Griffin Canning? What's going on with Griffin Canning?
He got hurt again. He got hurt in his rehab.
Is he gonna get surgery, or is he doing the Garrett? Is he pulling a Garrett Richards?
Still trying to do the therapy or whatever. He's rubbing some crystals on it.
He's pulling a Garrett Richards, and it never works. And I think we've seen it 1,000 times.
Bro, he has so many healing crystals. You don't understand, man. He's got a whole bag.
Is that
full
real?
Of them. No.
Oh, okay. No, I thought like maybe like
he's like
posted that on like his social media. And he's like,
what's it called? What's the thing that all the moms sell? The essential oils. He needs some essential oils, and he'll be fine. He'll be up tomorrow. I liked Griffin Canning. I think this might be a hot take. I think the ship sailed on him. I'm pretty much out on him. I don't know if he'll ever be healthy again. And when he is healthy, he was literally batting practice all year last year.
Yeah.
One of the worst pitchers in baseball. Worse than
Heaney.
Yeah, he was worse than Heaney. He was right in Heaney. You're right.
And at UCLA, he was lights out. I just don't think he ever found that groove, and he always battled injuries, man. It sucks.
What bothers me the most is when a guy like Heaney goes to the Dodgers and becomes like their third best pitcher. It really is a pitching issue, because if you think about it, I talked about this with one of my buddies. We were supposed to have Mickey Callaway, and obviously he was an asshole human being and deserved to get fired. But he was considered like the savior of the pitching, aspect of the organization. That would have been huge for us. Obviously, things didn't work out, and that's why Wise is there. But gosh, every time I watch that guy walk out, I want to see him just walk back into the dugout. He's just not the guy. He's needed to be fired for a while. I don't see any of the pitchers defending him.
Well, we've had an interim pitching coach for a year and a half now. Well, what's the point?
Yeah.
Get a real pitching coach. We didn't even conduct interviews or anything. We were just like, yeah, I guess Matt Wise can have it.
Well, who knows what's gonna happen with Nevin? We don't know what's gonna happen with him. Obviously, I think we're gonna do a whole interview process, and I think he'll be a part of it because
fucking Erstad.
Really?
Darren Erstad, bro. The pride of Nebraska.
Isn't he
the only good thing to ever come out of Nebraska that is not corn. Darren Erstad, baby.
I like
Corn and Darren Erstad. My favorite angel of all time. You saw that dude. He doesn't take any shit. He is there to win ball games.
That convinced me to bring back Sosha. I saw his face. I'm like, I miss you, bro. Come back. Nah, but I don't think so.
The thing is, this is the first time I've been like convinced that I don't care who manages this team, they can't win ball games. Like during the 14-game losing streak, what would you have done to win games? There were games that we lost 2-1 where we just couldn't score runs. There were games that we lost 11-10, the Blue Jays game, where we scored a ton of runs, and then we just happened to give up just enough runs to lose. Yeah. Like, how do you manage that? Everybody sucks.
It's tough because I wasn't a fan of Madden going into it, if I'm being completely honest. The reason he got the job is because he was a part of the coaching staff in 2002. Yeah, and he has had a good track record, but the teams he had on the Rays were stacked, and he really didn't bring those teams that far. They had higher expectations. The guys they had in their prime there were like some of the top players in the league. I mean, Price was a Cy Young pitcher. Carl Crawford was one of the best. Like, he brought a whole new different type of feel to the game. Zobrist, Longoria, exactly. And then you transfer him over to the Cubs. I mean, he had an MVP in Chris Bryant. He had another stud in Rizzo.
Easiest managing assignment of all time.
He completely screwed over. I would say he's the reason Chapman's the way he is. I mean, he overused him, and even when he brought him in just weird situations. I just never found him as the right guy, and I think there were better options going into it. I don't really remember now who were the better options, but at this point, I wasn't surprised. Like, he just felt like a weird dude in the clubhouse. He never fit in, you know?
I mean, manager's a hard spot to fill. Because the only job, Frank and I have talked about this many times. I think managers can make a team worse. I don't think they can make a team that much better. The manager's job is to not fuck everything up. And I apparently Madden did do that. I think there was some report that came out that said the players were just not having a good time anymore. They weren't, they didn't feel confident in him. They didn't feel like he was doing what was best for the ball club. And
who said this? Where was this?
It came out. I gotta find it.
It came out after he got fired, like right away.
Yeah, it did. I want to say Jeff Fletcher posted it, but I might be wrong.
It was an article, and they were saying like they wanted him fired after the 2021, after this season, and then the lockout came, and it was kind of already like too late to do it because we were gonna head into March at that point, so it was too late for them to make a move or like do anything with it. So they just decided to keep him. I don't know who we would have hired if we fired him. It was a tough situation already.
Yeah, and I think like ultimately it's good. So you're saying like last season they wanted him gone this year,
yes.
And then yeah. So I think like again, a lot of times I think when a team goes on such a terrible losing streak, like they really just need to pin it on someone. So I think it's partially that, but also they probably jumped on that as the organization as like, oh, not only can we like give people that don't really like know the true depth of how this like works, and it just looks good to cut someone out of the equation because we've been playing so poorly, but also they latched on because, hey, this is our opportunity to get Madden out of here. So, but it does suck to have that happen right in the middle of the year because, that shakes up the dynamic, and sometimes it's for better, but sometimes it's very hard to operate under a completely new dynamic in the middle of a season. So, yeah.
I mean, who do you guys think, two questions. Where are we at with Perry at this point? What do you guys think of Perry? And the second one is, Who are your guys' realistic managerial candidates heading into next season?
I think Perry thinks he's the smartest man on the face of the planet, and he's not.
I
You know?
partially agree with that, yeah.
Feel
I
like he
agree.
was like, oh yeah, Tyler Wade's going to break out this year. You don't know.
Yeah.
Andrew Velasquez is going to be mini Babe Ruth.
Well, I don't know, man, because those are waiver claims. So
That is true, too. I
I
don't think
feel
he
like-
expected to have those guys starting. I really don't.
I felt like they were just depth pieces for, like, you know, if we didn't, you know, get a better middle infielder, but now that's just where we're at. And I think Perry knows he needs to make a move when you have Renifo batting third and McKinnon batting fourth, cleanup. So, like, at this point, he knows we need to make a move. It's win now. It's not win later. It's win now. You have to be buyers. If you be sellers, then you might have Ohtani walk. So I don't know, man. I feel like right now you have to buy with Ohtani in his, you know, contract year next year. So as far as a manager goes, to answer your question, I don't know. I really don't know, man. Maybe a younger guy. Like,
I would
you know,
love a younger guy for the squad. It just makes so much sense.
maybe a younger guy at this point, because, like, I don't even know at this point, man.
Ohtani player
What's gonna
manage
happen?
at this point. Just let Ohtani do it all. He's the only one I trust to win ball games for this club. Might as
No,
well
honestly,
be in
I
charge
don't think
of
there's
everything.
a player that I would trust to manage this team because none of them have like that fire.
Ohtani
honestly.
does. I 100% disagree. I think
Right.
Ohtani has it.
Right. Okay. And I mentioned that earlier, but who else realistically?
Jose Quijada.
Okay, that's yeah. I give you that. I give you Quijada. I love
Outside of
Quijada.
that, that's all I got. for you,
Quijada's
but-
been on my he's been on my love list lately. I love Quijada.
Oh, he's
a
got great
phenomenal-
energy. He's one of the. I think the bullpen. Oh man, like, well, I guess we'll finish talking about the manager, but manager's tough because there's so many candidates out there. There's so many former managers, but then you could also, you know, so many former players. I think a lot of the guys on the O2 team, seeing them today, man, I was like, I would love a lot of these guys. I would love managing this ball club. Specifically, Percival and Erstad, we've talked about on Angels Twitter a little bit because they have managed before. Erstad was the coach or manager of Nebraska, and Percival, I think, was UC Irvine. UC
Yeah, that
something.
sounds about right. Yeah, he was something low. Yeah.
Something local.
Yep.
I know they both retired, but I would love to see
Oh,
either one of them.
if they would come back for the they would.
What-
No,
No.
guy I'd like to see. I'll let you go, my man.
No, so what do you guys think? So I have some like kind of joking ones that I'm reading in the chat, but like, what do you think is the most like, not what you want, but most on brand with the Angels? Like, what would we do
Gooby!
realistically?
Gooby, fuck yeah, bro. Mark
Gooby.
Gubicza.
Give us a
Oh, Gooby. Gooby's
Gooby's the only bright spot of the season, man. It's just him
He
being a
is,
legend
man.
on Twitter every single day
Gooby
of the week.
Tuesdays.
Mark Gubicza is
I
like,
love Gooby.
oh man,
Gooby's
the
awesome.
Angels may have lost 12-11, but they put up 11 runs tonight, man. Great ball game. Great ball game by the Halos. Unfortunately, we're on the wrong side of this. 14 in a row. Hopefully tomorrow we start the game, the winning
Gooby
streak.
would
you know?
be Gooby would be you know, turn the page. You know, he would
Yeah.
I like Gooby though. No, I really would love, like, I don't know, what would you guys think about Jared Weaver being the pitching coach?
Oh, I love that. Oh
that would be
my.
some-
One reason why I like that though is because, like, he has that fire, man. And like when you have a guy like that, you know, coaching for you, I feel like that would be awesome. Someone had tagged Weaver on Twitter like maybe a few months ago, asking if he would ever want to be a pitching coach, and he said yeah, that he would, you know, potentially think about it in his
All
career.
of a
It's
sudden,
so
the
tough.
entire pitching staff's throwing 89 miles per hour.
Oh no. Oh,
They're
no.
doing that like that thing where they're like turning halfway around and pitching. You know, I love
Zero
his- I love
strikeouts
his,
at the end of the year.
Yeah,
No hitting the Twins every time for some reason.
Yeah, it's I don't know, man. I would love Weaver to be a part of the staff too. I just think it's really tough to bring a player that's like that loved in the organization. Because dude, if he does bad, then it's kind of like, oh man, like Weaver, like he let us down, man, you know? But I don't know. I would love to see it. Now that you said that, I never thought of that. I don't know why.
Yeah,
I'd
my,
love to see
yeah.
Weaver get back into it.
the other
like-
Tyler named baseball fan saying Mark Langston is an option.
No.
Obviously, Angels legend. I'll be honest, I kind of recognize this dude from.
I don't
I feel
know.
like he's around the organization a lot, but
Who, Mark Langston?
yeah. I mean, I remember
Yeah,
he was He was a pitcher for the Angels.
Yeah, he's on the broadcast team with Terry Smith.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's so tough. You gotta find. It's such a difficult thing to find a good pitching coach, like the Yankees did with whoever. What's his name? Is it Matt Blake? I think.
Yeah.
That dude's just. And I don't even know if that's what it is. Sometimes players just figure it out all at once. The only places I can see it being a trend are Tampa Bay, Milwaukee, and Los Angeles. The Yankees are doing it this year, but outside of that, there's no consistent pitching labs that just figure out how to make these pitchers significantly better.
Yeah.
Sometimes they just figure it out. And I don't know. Maybe if we could just poach somebody off of the Rays or something.
Is Matt Weiss the guy to develop these young arms? Because we saw Reed Devers get sent down today. So, no, we know the answer to that. So we have to figure out. We can't have a bullpen. What was he before he was the Angels pitching coach? Wasn't he a bullpen coach? Matt Weiss.
That's a good question. I'll take a look at that right now.
I think he might have been the Angels bullpen coach.
Well, this is going to be our third full regime change in the last, 6 years, 5 years? Because we went from Scioscia to the guy whose name I can never fucking remember, this skinny dude, and then to Madden, and then now Phil Nevin. So I guess our fourth one.
He was the bullpen coach, and then he got named the interim pitching coach. So, I mean, that's kind of a big change, if we're being honest here.
Well,
I mean, I know obviously they're both pitching, but it's still like you go from working with, just the relievers. It's not nearly as big of a task. I mean, now you're working with all the guys, and especially you're trying to develop these younger guys, trying to make them, have a good career. And obviously he didn't do that with Detmers, or not yet at least, but it's I don't know. I'm not a big fan of him. I hope he goes.
Man.
I don't know.
He really doesn't.
It's tough. Like, we need to start winning now.
When I look at our bullpen, man, Aaron Loop has been a dominant reliever. Even in his down years, he's been a solid reliever. But last year in New York, he was absolutely dominant, unhittable. Comes here, he was good at the beginning of the year, and then it feels like as soon as he started listening to Matt Wise, he just fell apart. I don't know if that's just me digging too deep into things or if he's just getting unlucky. I know relief pitching is a very volatile thing. It changes year in and year out. You could be dominant one year and absolutely trash the next. People start to figure you out. But think about it. Archie Bradley was great in, Arizona. Went to Philly, who's also like us and known for destroying pitchers' careers. He sucked there. And now he's been better as of late, but he had a really shaky start with us. Last year, what was the guy who came over from the Rays? Giants legend? Hunter Strickland. He was great with the Rays. One of the best relievers in baseball. Came into first game. Literally went straight from Tampa to Boston to pitch for us. Gives up a home run to the first batter. I think he gave up more home runs than outs. And then he goes to Milwaukee and he's a stud again.
Bro, I
don't know if we're cursed or we just suck or...
There's so many players that I don't even remember being on the team just because I remember the sense of excitement of being Strickland, okay, and then it's just he's so bad that I did not recall that he was on the squad until you just said that. So it's just it's crazy,
he was on the team for 2 days, man.
Yeah, it was not very long.
And last year I fell off track. I'm sick of the losing, man. Last year, our lineup was so bad, I don't think I watched a game in August. After August, I was done.
Me too.
There's no point.
And I don't want to, because, we're 50 games out.
The last time I felt joy watching the Angels was watching Jared Walsh end the Mariners season. Jared Walsh and Shohei Ohtani come together to end the Mariners season. That was the only thing that made me happy. Because it was a meaningful game in September. Yeah, I think October. Right. It was October 1st or October 2nd.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't think I was invested in it, but at that point I was like, we're already out of it. There's no reason for us to celebrate. We suck.
Yeah, who cares?
It's not going to change anything. So I don't know. Maybe dumb. Next year. We say that every year, but.
Well, and this is the problem I have with the Angels is there's a lot of bad teams in the sport. We don't have to sugarcoat it. The Pirates are a really bad team, but look at the Pirates' future right now. They got O'Neal Cruz who just came up. Brian Hayes is a stud. Brian Reynolds is a stud. They've got a couple of stud pitchers coming up. Quinn Priester, They drafted that catcher first overall last season. So they have a bright future. Who do we have? We have Joe Adell, and who's that shortstop guy?
Kai Bush.
Well,
Yeah, Kai Bush
I
is
think
alright.
we have a stud by the name of C-Rod, Chris Rodriguez, man. He's gonna be
I do like
potential.
Chris
He's gonna be
Rodriguez.
good.
He's gonna be a potential. I'm not gonna say ace, but number 2 or 3 with how good he's looked in his.
Yeah, a lot of
he keeps
people-
getting injured.
A lot of people agree with you in
Yeah.
chat. They're talking about
Yeah, I
him
know.
earlier.
Chris
C-Rod's.
Rodriguez. He had Tommy John, I believe, in 20. I think it was 19 or 18. Then he finally came last year. We saw that good sign of him last year, and then he got injured again. So
Yeah.
it's like, I want to see C-Rod, man. He's electric.
Totally.
And he will be back, and we already know he's a good pitcher, and he can pitch at the major league level. Because he wasn't supposed to make the team out of spring training last year. He just was so good. we couldn't keep him down.
Wipeout slider.
Oh, without a
Another
doubt.
guy. I want to. Who's your favorite prospect? I really like Jeremiah Jackson. Actually, Ty. in
That's the
chat.
dude I was talking about.
Now I've been. You can ask our man Tyler TCAS. You guys know who TCAS is.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, of course.
I've been talking about Jeremiah Jackson the last year. He's been so good, man. I'm telling you, since he was drafted, this guy has opposite field power. And if you have opposite field power, then you can hit for 20 plus home runs in the major leagues. So Jeremiah Jackson's your guy at shortstop. I love this kid. He is going to be a star, in my opinion. I think
mean,
he's gonna be really good.
No, I've heard a lot of things about him, but if you really think about it, though, if he's good, that solves a lot of our problems. Like a lot
yeah,
of our
huge.
problems. We won't have to go out there. People are. I think it's a little unrealistic to say that we're gonna get Bogarts. I know everybody's on the Bogarts train because he's gonna be a free agent. It's just not gonna happen.
They're not going to be sellers. The Red Sox are going to be buyers.
Well, no, he's gonna be a free agent this upcoming season.
Well, yeah, but they wouldn't trade him away if they're going to try to make
Right?
a
No.
move season.
I'm not saying they would trade him. I'm saying
Oh,
if
to like
if
sign him in the
we were
offseason.
sign him.
I got you.
Like, let's say hypothetically things fall out with Ohtani. I think Perry goes to panic mode, and I could easily see him doing something like that. Getting a guy like Xander, which wouldn't be horrible, but Jeremiah Jackson is going to be a big factor in this organization. D-Rod is. Kai Bush, the way he's pitching right now, that's going to be a big one.
Bro, I
Bachman.
got it pulled up real quick.
I like Bachman too. I would love to see the Angels give Jeremiah a AAA call up. I think he's deserving. He's been crushing the baseball in Rocket City, which is AA. And yeah, give him a AAA call up, man. Let's see how he's looking in AAA. He's close. Like we drafted him in 2017, I think.
I want to say, I want to say 18.
Yeah,
Dude, we've got
he
some
was like
stud
a-
arms in the minors
I
too.
think he was in the Jordan Adams draft, if I remember right.
Jeremiah
Second round.
Yeah, and he was
Jordan
taken,
Adams, another dude
second
that I
round.
kind of like.
Second
I don't think he's
round
going to
and-
be like elite, but I
And,
think he
yeah,
can be a
Jordan
solid guy.
Adams. What's he gonna be, man?
I think he's
he
our
doesn't
fourth
have much of a
outfielder of the
bat.
future.
No
Yeah.
bat there. There's no bat. He's a speedster.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think he's a
man.
good fourth outfield candidate. He's a Juan Lagares if he was good at baseball.
And to me, he looks like a. Do you guys remember Peter Borges?
Hell yeah.
Oh man.
He-
Gorgeous,
I love some
gorgeous.
Peter Borges.
He reminds me of light skinned Peter Borges. So that's the vibes I get from Jordan Adams. From what I saw in AAA, he's just got that player build and he's quick. And I just don't know. I don't see much in the bat, man.
Bro, we know last year we drafted only pitchers in the draft, right?
Yeah.
There's a couple of guys who are absolutely shoving in the minors right now that I think deserve a shot. And we already called up Chase Silseth, so it's not like, it's out of the question to say we would call these guys up. In Rocket City right now, we've got Eric Torres, 24 innings pitched in relief, 1.13 ERA, 2.75 FIP. We've got Kai Bush, 2.47 FIP, ERA, 3.5 FIP. We've got Luke Murphy, 24 2/3 innings pitched, 2.92 ERA, 2.45 FIP. And this is the only team, it's the only team in our organization that's in first place right now. The Trash Pandas are playing better baseball than the Angels right now. I think we need to at least take a little bit of a look at some of these guys, give them a tryout or something.
Of course. Yeah. I think Jeremiah Jackson's got to be a couple days away from a AAA call-up. He's crushing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's
baseball.
hitting
I just
left
checked his
and right.
stats. He's
No
he's
reason.
batting he's batting 291 with a 371 OBP. He's got a 1042 OPS. He's got 7 homers, 19 RBIs, and it's in 22 games, but You're right. He's got to get called up, and he's also stolen a couple bags too.
He hasn't been called up to AAA yet, so he's getting close.
Yeah, I would love to see that. That'd be
23 homers
awesome.
in 2019. He only hit 10, but didn't have much at bats in 2021. But still, I think he's close and he's hitting well right now.
Yeah,
That's the one thing I like about Perry so far is I feel like he has put a little more attention in the farm system. I think he had a really good draft last year from what we've seen so far. We already saw Seth play in the major leagues. Like I said, we already got some stud arms in the minor leagues that are looking really good so far. That's been my biggest strength with Perry so far. And I didn't hate his pitching signings and stuff, but we'll see if he can figure it out. I think our coaching staff needs to be improved before we're going to develop any of these guys into, stud MLB-ready baseball players.
I see someone in chat saying call up Kalish. I'm thinking
Jake Kalish has been dealing. Jake Kalish is like 31 years old and has never played an MLB game.
He's what is my dad used to call some Journeyman.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah,
he's a
the
journeyman.
Royals.
He's never made a major league roster. I don't think he's ever pitched in the major leagues. I think it's all been minor leagues.
Yeah.
And how old is he?
He's 30 years old. Yeah.
Give him a shot, man.
7-2, 2.45 ERA, 59 strikeouts in 62 innings in AAA this year.
Salt Lake too.
Yeah, that's a hitter.
That's a hitter's league.
Yeah.
Give him a shot at least. Why? Yeah. I mean, I understand he's not on the. He's not on the 40 man, right?
But see,
so that's the problem. But
DFA
Lagares.
In 2021 AAA though, he had a 7 ERA. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
it's
but
a tough call.
What have you done for me lately? Look at Nestor Cortez. Nestor Cortez was like the worst pitcher in baseball with the Mariners 2 years ago or whatever. 3 years ago, I think, at this point. And all of a sudden, he's going to probably start the All-Star game for the AL?
I really don't understand how he's successful.
I don't think Kalish is going to do that, but give him a shot.
It's either him or Shane McClanahan.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Shane McClanahan's been a monster, but...
Or Verlander, too. Verlander's been shoving, too.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, it's not out of the question that a guy could figure it out at 30 years old. Because you can't argue with his results in a hitter-friendly league right there.
Look at the biggest, who's considered the biggest bust of all time, Mark Appel. He's come back, and he's actually not doing too, if I recall, he's not doing too bad. He's 30, and he has a 1.67 ERA in AAA through... He's with the Phillies.
That's a good story.
27 innings pitched. He's only allowed 5 earned runs through 27 innings. He's been really good.
A comeback from him.
Now, I would love to see Kalish
guys like
get a chance. I would love to see Kalish get a chance over guys like, I think he could put up the same production as Jose Suarez. He could put up the same production as Jonathan Diaz.
Mm-hmm. He deserves a shot. He's not going to pitch much better than how he's pitching.
We're not asking for much right now, man.
Yeah.
Look at the 40 man. There are so many people that I'm not going to lose sleep over if we release these guys.
Like the other day, we called up. What's his name? Who pitched last Saturday? Jonathan Diaz. I believe we called him up and he pitched last Saturday. Got absolutely crushed. I think he was out by the 3rd or 4th inning. 2nd inning, probably. Why not give Jake Kalish a chance there? I don't know, man. Like relying on a journeyman too is not what you want to do. But at this point, we need some type of. You can't give up 12 runs to the Royals.
Yeah, I mean.
Go ahead.
There's ways to make room on the 40-man roster. There's no reason we can't call him up. And there's guys on this roster, I think, that would clear waivers, too.
Yeah, Jack Mayfield would 100% clear waivers.
Yeah, I agree. Jack Mayfield only has value to the Angels for some reason. He's had some signature moments. I love me some Captain Jack moments last year.
I don't.
But he's just not a good baseball player.
If you don't want to talk real talk, though, if we really wanted to be competitive, Kurt Suzuki would not be on this team. And it would be Chad Wallach as our number 2. Chad Wallach would be our number 2 catcher right now.
There's got to be something on the inside on why Kurt Suzuki is on this team, because we re-signed him and we know how bad he was last year. Somebody wants him here, and he's not going anywhere right now. I don't think. He wasn't good. Chad Wallach, man, that Ranger series. This guy was catching everything.
He's a phenomenal catcher.
He looked like a hockey goalie with the type of stuff he was blocking.
There's not a sizable difference between Kurt Suzuki and Chad Wallach. I agree.
And Wallach is much better.
Yeah. No, the guy who is just getting straight up disrespected by this organization day in and day out. You know who I'm going to talk about? Matt Thaiss. What the hell, man? Give him a shot.
I was just about to talk about Matt Thaiss. 2015 first round pick. Man, what year was he drafted? 2016 first round pick. Virginia, came out of Virginia as one of the best hitting prospects in college baseball. The first thing that they did to screw this guy over was they switched him from catcher to third base to first base to did he play right field? I don't even remember, man. Anyways,
I remember him as a third baseman.
Should have kept him at catcher. He would have been the catcher for the future, but they screwed this guy. And now he's like, man, in his stints in the major leagues, he hasn't really looked too good.
Well,
but they haven't given him a shot.
Yeah, give him a shot.
They haven't. And they called him up on the taxi squad a couple days ago.
He's 27. Like, this guy is getting older, and it's looking like he's a bust every day.
He's a power-hitting left-handed catcher. It's literally the perfect option outside of Max Stassi, who is supposedly better against left-handed pitching. I think he's kind of ass on both at the moment, but you have a power-hitting left-handed catcher in the minor leagues who can't be worse defensively than Kurt Suzuki. I don't think it's possible. I don't think it's humanly possible. And you have a great defensive catcher who supposedly hits left-handed pitchers better. It's a perfect platoon situation, or, Max Stassi gets 4 starts, Matt Thaiss gets 2 starts, or 3 starts if there's, 7 games.
Yeah, but in the hitters league right now, his numbers are kind of down. I don't know, man. Like, I'd love to see him get a shot. I'd love to see him get a shot, but 237 average OPS around average major league level in AAA hitters league is kind of tough for him. I don't know, man. Only 5 homers, like. I don't know. Like, what do you like? You really want to see him
red hot to start the year, and then he got hurt. I think he's been on the injured list twice now.
Really? You want to see him starting, or backup platoon? Maybe is what you're saying.
Oh, I don't want to see him start. Absolutely not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I just want to see him get a chance. I feel like he had 3 at bats last year or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, how are those numbers? I mean, they're not great, but for a backup position. How is that? I mean, I just don't understand. Like, again, you're onto something with the Suzuki thing, because there's no way, unless someone loves him somewhere in the organization, that he's playing right now. But is that much worse than Suzuki's, like, offensively, at least?
Not. And he adds a lefty bat. In my case, I'm just saying he is a better option, rather Kurt Suzuki, who is, I don't know why he's on the team. Same as Juan Lagares. Like, if you want to win, I would have cut Juan Lagares 3 weeks ago if I'm the general manager of the Angels. If you want to win, show us you want to win, because we could have won the game yesterday. But Juan Lagares comes up, there's a guy at third, and he flies out, but he hasn't done anything in his month plus of being on the team. So
I'm not gonna
RBI.
I don't want to talk about him, man. You guys know how I feel about him. I can't stand him. I can't stand the guy. I legit think he might be the worst player in Major League Baseball right now. He might. Like, think about it.
Oh, there's definitely a conversation there.
There's not much production right now, and he knows his time's coming to an end.
Ohtani,
but it's not.
Ohtani had more RBIs last night than Duffy has all season.
Yeah.
Than Lagares has all season.
Dude, it's honestly crazy. And he hit that baseball like one of the furthest I've seen in Angel Stadium.
Well, McKinnon tonight got his was that his first hit, right?
Yeah, and
first
RBI. Yeah,
and 2
RBIs. That's more than Lagares. So,
and he's been up for 4 he's played 4 games.
4 games.
I'm just saying, I don't think I've ever seen someone get called up and lose 12 straight games immediately after.
Yeah, people want us to talk about McKinnon for a sec. It seems
McKinnon?
like
I love McKinnon.
You guys,
I like him. He seems like a cool dude. At least he has. I can deal with bad production if I think there's some power tool there, and I think McKinnon has a power tool there.
I don't know much about McKinnon, to be honest. I didn't really. What is he?
He was pretty great in the minors this year. Like, he deserved
2017
the
draft
call.
pick, so he's still young.
Yeah.
I mean, like looking at his minor league numbers, like they aren't bad. He's better than Renifo.
Well,
Yes.
the one thing I love about him, and I was
Better
talking
back
about
than
it.
Renifo.
I was talking about it with a buddy. His at bats are phenomenal. Every single at bat he's had has been phenomenal.
Yeah.
The second game he played, he came up to pinch hit, and I believe it was for Velasquez, and it was when the bases were juiced, and he had a line shot into right, and I thought it was gonna get down, but obviously it didn't. And then he's walked or worked to full count or 2-2 each time by fouling off a couple pitches or just reading the ball really well. And then obviously today he played his best game in the majors, which I mean I know he's played 4, but he's put up really good at bats. Of course he hasn't been getting a ton of hits or getting great production, but
Yeah.
in the grand scheme of things, I think he's been really, really good, and I'm happy with what he's doing as a backup.
He was a monster in AAA this year. 323,
Yeah, he's
423, 1,056 OPS. Dude, just a monster.
My thing is though, it's he doesn't have any secondary positions, so like he's not gonna play. Walsh is gonna get most of the playing time, and you have to give young guys like that at bats. So I don't know. Like, what are we gonna do? Like, since he only plays first, he's probably gonna get sent back down. For being honest.
I mean, maybe not, because as much as I hate,
Is he gonna platoon against lefties? I mean, potentially.
it'd be when like days like this when Walsh doesn't want to, or maybe he doesn't feel great. Like Trout claimed which I did not like that, but when maybe Walsh can't hit a lefty, we have that whole conspiracy behind it. But what's gonna happen is I think McKinnon's gonna end up staying on the roster. I think Lagares is gonna eventually get DFA'd, and we're gonna end up using, which I'm not gonna like, we're gonna use Wade as our 4th outfielder because we think he has experience. Again, I don't like it, but that's probably what's gonna end up happening. It just makes too much sense because they love Wade, like love him. I don't know why, but they do. They're gonna keep him up there. I think Renifro's eventually gonna get he's gonna get sent down eventually.
Does Renifo have like any more options at this point? Because it's been like 3 or 4 years now.
No.
If he has an
doesn't.
option, he doesn't.
I don't think he does. No.
You only
I think
have
he's had
3
so much
options.
this time.
You only
Yeah.
get 3.
Yeah, no. He's been optioned too many times, I think.
So like, if he gets, maybe that's why. I'm not for sure, but if maybe that's why he hasn't been sent down yet, because someone's gonna claim him. I think someone's gonna claim him.
Someone would claim him.
He's enough of a depth piece to have on your roster as a play once a week or twice a week, for like a Meister Sturridge type guy.
Yeah,
But-
no, I
Yeah.
agree.
Dude, I think we should have traded him for Jock, man.
That would have been a huge.
That
shit
is the
for us.
worst. Like,
And
I still
Stripling.
can't wrap my head around the fact that Artie Moreno just woke up one morning and was like, no, I don't want a 30 home run bat, left-handed bat in my lineup. Go to hell. I'm keeping the fugitive. I'm keeping my AAA caliber middle infielder, and that's final.
So dumb, man. I hate Artie
Don't give me
Moreno.
a top 100 prospect and a 30 home run power bat.
Yeah.
No, thank you. And a potential, back end rotation piece when our rotation was the worst in baseball.
Well, we know what Artie's intentions are, and that's to like make money and extract that, and that's like what he cares about. But like that decision doesn't even reflect that. It's like it's the dumbest decision ever because like Peterson would definitely be more of an attraction to the park and fan base than Renifo, I have to think, right? Like
Was Renifo? I don't remember. Was Renifo the only piece of that trade? I believe he was.
Yeah.
For us,
It was-
I think it
it
was
was
a player to be
Renifo.
named later, but
And that's gonna be a
that was
sack
it.
of peanuts.
Maybe cash.
Yes.
But
Yeah. So
Would've
yeah,
got
man, that's crazy.
2 solid major leaguers and a top 100 prospect, and Artie Moreno just said no because he was impatient.
Crazy.
That's gotta be. That is like, I don't know, man. That's like an act of God just raining down
And
on this
I
team.
love Jock, man. He's electric.
Bro.
He's one of those players.
I would have loved to sign him this. I think he was the steal of the offseason so far. $6 million this year, and he's probably going to start in the All-Star game.
Why does nobody want Jock? I don't understand it. Nobody. $6 million, dude. That's it.
Yeah.
And last year, he went on to win the World Series after Artie said, "No, I don't want you on my team."
Yeah, it's unbelievable, man.
We all know he's been the problem.
We-
It's just it's a stage of denial. We just don't want to, because then we know that the organization is going to be garbage for however long he's running it.
Yeah, I don't know when. I don't know.
I
Artie
do
Moreno.
have one sort of final question to go on here that has been looming on Angels Twitter, and none of us want to ask it. None of us want to answer it. Is there a Shohei Ohtani trade that exists in the world that you would say yes to?
No.
I don't think there's anything that equals his value.
No one in the league.
Yeah, there's
Nobody.
nothing. Like
No.
I don't disagree. I'm just saying.
And
if he doesn't want a
being
player,
able
you need to get some value out of him.
And being able, I don't think so, man. Developing this guy from one of the worst spring trainings to what he is now when he first came up, and everybody was writing him off after 2018 spring. And look where he is now. It's like, dude, no, I don't want nobody else in the majors, man. Nobody.
But I mean, if you don't sign him this offseason, you can't let him walk.
I
You
think
can't get
Artie
nothing
knows
out of
he's gonna
him.
pay him the check. He's gonna
You
pay him the
can't-
check.
I mean,
then
I'm sure
this
he'll
is the
offer
thing.
it, but what if he says no? I'm
Artie
going to go
Moreno.
play for the Yankees for $70 million a year.
Artie Moreno knows that he's gonna get more money by signing Ohtani. So however
this
much he
is-
pays, he'll get more.
Yeah, and I want to say,
That's true.
and this is the thing here. We've got Trout getting paid $300 million, 330. It's 330 for Trout, 250 for Rendon, who's not going to play this year. We have Upton getting 30 to play for another team, the Josh Hamilton effect, and then we've got Ohtani, who's potentially going to break the sports contract, maybe 400.
Don't say
million.
potentially, without a doubt.
Yeah,
100%
so
chance.
yeah, so is Artie gonna put almost $1 billion on for a couple players? Like, dude, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, you gotta
I want-
prepare
I wanna
for the
keep-
worst and hope for the best.
Yeah, it's
If
just
we
like-
can't sign him this offseason, you have to think about trading him, because you can't let that walk. And he has final say at what happens. He could just say, no, I don't want to play for the Angels. You guys suck. And I wouldn't blame him at this point. I've tried to defend us and been like, no, he'll stay. He's loyal.
But
No,
this
why
is
would he?
where- Yeah, I do understand, but at the same time, like, we believed in this guy, and like, you know, we
So
could
did
have
a
sent
lot of other teams.
So did a lot of
no,
teams.
no. This is the thing. We could have sent him down in 2018 when he had that really bad spring, but we let him ride it out. And I feel like, I don't know, to a certain extent, we believed in him to where another team might have sent him down. Do you guys understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In terms of like
I
how
get
bad he
it.
was in that spring training, I think he had like an 8 or 9 ERA, maybe even higher.
Yeah.
He needed work, but we.
I think
believed
the
in him.
only question is at that point is like, is that in his mind, is that move and confidence that we had in him worth what he's experiencing on a day-to-day basis of like being the person that's like carrying this team,
True,
consistently being disappointed? You know, I think that's what it's going to ultimately come down to. So I mean, as much as I want him to be on this team, like again, as Nolan's saying, like day by day, I become less or more, you know, more inclined to agree with the potential decision that he doesn't want to be on this team anymore. So it's just good to at least mentally prepare for that possibility. But I don't know.
Yeah, and it's understandable. You know, he wants to win. He's already came out and said he wants to win, so we have to win.
Well, and you think all of a sudden when the Angels have, like you said, a $500 million in payroll on 3 guys, they're going to all of a sudden figure out how to build a team around him? You think adding
yeah.
another gigantic contract is going to help this team, like build a team around him? From his perspective, I just think that it's, you know,
you have to find a way to load off Rendon's contract. I mean, like in terms of adding more pieces and more pitching around the team that they already have. When you have that much money put into 3 players, like it's tough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, like, it is a lot of money poured into 3, but you're gonna have to pay him. And then, like I was mentioning, you're gonna get more money out of Ohtani because of the amount of people that come to watch him play, and only him. Like, there's obviously people that want to see Trout, but there will be people at Angel games that just want to see Ohtani play, and no one else.
And
I think that's
worldwide.
Yeah,
Worldwide.
people would fly out. Yeah, people would fly out to watch him play.
And I'm sure they have, and baseball's big time in, other countries, especially like in Japan, baseball's big time. And so he makes a lot of money internationally too with Ohtani. So
Yeah. So I don't think it would make no sense for him as a businessman. And we know that's what comes to him first. It's not about winning for him. It's about the business. And we know that Ohtani's going to bring in the money. So it'd be smart for him to sign. But again, there was an article, I think it was published a few days ago. Did he want 25 million, obviously. 25 million for hitting and 25 pitching. And that would make it 50 a year, which I
50,
don't think.
I without a doubt would pay that.
I
think that's a steal.
lot. That would break the, I think, highest salary for
Easily. Easily.
Isn't
Scherzer with 46, I think.
Yeah,
45,
Scherzer
46.
broke it. Didn't he break it?
Yeah,
man.
But I mean,
But that's because Cohen's rich as hell, and he's not afraid to break out the paycheck. Already is, because he loves his money. He doesn't want to lose any money, but he knows with Ohtani, there's no way he loses it.
yeah. I just think without a doubt, he's gonna get $50 million from somebody. I think all 30 teams would offer him a $50 million contract. I think the A's would offer him a $50 million contract if he come play for the A's. He's just that kind of talent. Like you're looking at Babe Ruth. You're getting a second chance at seeing a better version. It's Babe Ruth 2000. It's literally like the new and improved Babe Ruth. And you have a chance to sign this man. We cannot let him hit the open market. You have to trade him if he doesn't want to stay here, or pay him whatever he wants.
And Babe Ruth at one point wasn't pitching anymore. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
He was only hitting. Ohtani's gonna do it, pitch and hit. So
yeah. Well, and everyone's like, how long can you do this for? And I don't think it matters. And if I think Ohtani will go the route where it's like, if he really gets to a point where he can't do it anymore, he will hit 4 days a week, pitch 1 day a week, or go into a bullpen role. And that'd be even more impressive if he's like, batting third one inning, he gets out, runs to the bullpen, starts warming up, and becomes a relief pitcher. I could see a 34-year-old Shohei Ohtani doing that.
Closer, being the closer.
There's 99, there's 100.
We get a veteran series, with the Shohei Ohtani card.
Hell
Closing pitcher.
Yeah.
That's fun. Oh man,
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at on the situation. You just have to get some value out of him. If you let him walk, that is the dumbest decision in Major League Baseball history.
Of course. Yeah.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Trying to think. You guys want to stay on for a bit? You want to take some questions from the chat, or are we calling it a night? What do we think?
You guys want to take we'll take 3 questions, or something like that?
Yeah, I know Tyster's been very active. He wants to be in on one of these, maybe in a future one. I just hit up the boys tonight that I had on speed dial. Hit him with the call real quick. But if you guys have any Angels questions, throw them in the chat, and we'll answer them to the best of our ability, even if they're meme related. We love a good meme question. There's also like a 20-second delay on YouTube. I know, Chris, you know that. It's like a massive delay.
that is brutal.
Yeah. Need Ohtani to play shortstop. I love it.
Ohtani.
I think we did talk about Detmers getting sent down, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. So. Yeah.
Yeah. Overall, what's going to happen with Aaron Judge?
Aaron
Judge
New York Giant
will be a Yankee for life. No question.
I don't think the Yankees are letting a guy who potentially could hit 60 home runs this year walk. I think.
Yeah, and I think it's going to turn into a very bad contract long term. That's a hot take.
Yeah,
That's
I don't know, man.
but
If he's healthy, he'll put up numbers, but
I don't think he's going to stay healthy.
Yankee or Giant, one of the two.
That's what. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I would love him in a Giant uniform.
He would dominate in the Bay.
Bro, I love Aaron. Aaron Judge is probably my favorite player not on the Angels. And the Giants are my favorite team that's not the Angels, low-key. Like, in the National League, I just love them because they beat the crap out of the Dodgers. I love that. And they beat the Dodgers in the division last year. They've got a fun team. So Judge in in San Francisco. That'd be killer. He could be the first right-handed hitter to hit a splash shot. I think that could happen.
Dope.
All right.
Why don't we cheat? I think we can get away with it. Someone asked that.
Why don't we cheat?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, give it a shot.
Seems like everyone does it.
If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, right?
With the Angels' luck, man, we'll get a big penalty, like Trout suspended 100 games.
Oh,
yeah.
I'd cry.
With the Angels' luck.
Oh gosh, that'd be horrible.
Yeah. All right. What's stopping Steve Cohen from handing Judge a blank check? The Yankees. Say the Yankees. I wouldn't be surprised if Steve Cohen makes him the, highest paid baseball player of all time, though.
And the Yankees, I'm pretty sure the Yankees net the most money out of any major league team.
Yeah.
So they're gonna re-sign Judge, for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
at least in my how do you let him walk? He's gonna probably hit 60 this year if he stays healthy. He hit 2 home runs tonight. This guy is just insane.
Yeah. No, Judge has always been one of my favorite players. I'm a big fan of that dude. I saw him in the Futures game in 2015 in Cincinnati, and I saw him signing autographs. This is like a 23-year-old, 24-year-old Aaron Judge. I was like, holy shit, dude, this guy looks like Giancarlo Stanton. Next thing we know, he got called up, and I'm like, oh, turns out he can hit a baseball, too. It's ideal. All right, let's take 2 more. How about it?
They should bring him to the Angels.
Oh, that'd be a terrible idea. That'd be a terrible idea. 3 players over 30 making $30 million plus a year.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
That'd be awful. I hope we've learned our lesson about giving 30-year-old baseball players
We have it.
9-figure contracts, but we're gonna win on Friday? Who are we playing on Friday?
The
With the
Mariners.
Mariners again.
Mariners?
And we have Lorenzen on the bump. So yes, we are going to win on Friday.
Lorenzen's a dog. I don't like the dog in you meme. I feel like is overplayed, but Lorenzen does have that dog in him.
I love Lorenzen. Lorenzen, I think, has been debatedly our best signing of the offseason, bro. If we really want to talk about it,
The best value for sure.
Yeah.
I think
He's been good.
we signed him as a 5th, and he's been a 3-4 for us.
He's been good.
I've loved him. I think he's done a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I agree. I've always liked Lorenzen. His baseball savant page has always been sexy to look at. He's just never put it together, stayed healthy. And, not an ace or anything, but we haven't had a solid guy like that in the middle of the rotation. I think that's the end of that sentence.
Isn't he from Cali, too? He's from California?
Yeah, he went to
watched
Cal State Fullerton.
Fullerton. I grew up watching him. I'd go to the games, and they would. He was a hitter first in college.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to the 9th inning, they'd be like, "All right, bro, it's time," and he'd come running out of the outfield. Wouldn't warm up. He would just come in, pump 95, and then the game would be over. He had I want to say he had like a 2 ERA in college throughout his entire career. He was a monster. I loved watching him.
I see him as he's probably gonna get re-signed.
I pray. Give him a 2-3 year.
He's not gonna be much money in terms of for a pitcher. So
Yeah.
at least I hope not. He's not big time money. I think Noah Syndergaard would be a lot more, right, to keep him, to retain him.
I mean, they've been around the same.
Similar production, yeah.
You think so?
I'd
don't know.
argue Lorenzen's almost been better. If you really think about it, Lorenzen's runs, a lot of it come from the bullpen. Because he'll come out
Yeah,
after
that's
having
true.
a great start. He'll have around 90 pitches, and then they'll bring in Loop, or they'll bring in Ortega after he comes in, and there'll be a runner at first, and then all of a sudden you just see a double smacked in the gap, and then there comes, it's his run, all the time. I feel like
25
of his runs were that way.
So 20 mil for Lorenzen to get re-signed.
Ooh, I don't know about
No,
that.
not 20.
Oh well, you guys said around the same production. Well, I mean, that's what.
So we
Thor's
signed
getting paid.
Syndergaard, I feel like, thinking he had that ace stuff he used to,
And he was a
He
former
did.
Cy Young candidate.
Okay.
so I think
I would say
Syndergaard
10.
gets what,
Yeah, I would
12
say
to
10.
15.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
I would
I'm
say
thinking-
I'd say like 8 to 10 for Lorenzen a year.
You got to think Jose. What's his name? Jose Quintana got signed for $10 million last year.
That's true. So then maybe you're
I
right.
think at least 10. And prices are just going up for these players. So I think 10 to 15 is very reasonable for the going rate for these guys. Mainly Lorenzen, but I think Thor, same thing, 10 to 15.
Will Thor get re-signed, and for how much? If he does get re-signed, probably be a 3-year deal, 17 to 20 million. Probably.
I don't know. That's a tough decision.
Yeah, it's a tough decision. But he's not dropping much more money than that, right?
Well, don't
I think
underestimate
he could
Artie.
do 3-year 30, honestly.
3-year 30 for Thor? Is he taking that team-friendly deal? Like,
Didn't you just say 3-year? I thought you just said 3-year 20.
No,
yeah,
I said-
we're
I
talking
said-
annually.
Are you saying
I said
17 to 20 a year? Oh, I don't think he gets
17
17 a
Okay.
year.
17 to 20, because he's getting
I
paid
think-
22 right now, I think.
I think
For one day.
15's.
Let's dip down a little bit.
I think
Because
15's.
he's older, and then he had a iffy year.
Yeah,
Well,
I'd say
we don't know what's
15
gonna
is
happen.
pretty
But
generous.
Right now he's like a 3-4 starter.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
we paid him
agree.
we paid him to be our ace.
Yeah, it was worth the shot. I still don't hate the move, but
I love the
not
signing.
worth 20 million. And I love Thor. I really do. I really like that dude. I don't know what he did to the Mets to make him so pissed off. Like just denying the qualifying offer. Is that really gonna piss you off that much? If we give him the qualifying offer and he goes somewhere else next year, I'm not gonna be that mad.
And I think
Mets
the
fans get
qualifying,
mad at everything.
qualifying
Yeah, they
offers like 17 still, right?
17.8.
0.8. Yeah,
17.8.
17.8.
It
So
changes
that's
every
about
year.
what I was
though.
saying. That's about, yeah, it does change, but
It might be like 18 next year, 18-1, something like that.
yeah. DFA loop, he can't stay away from a barrel.
He can't.
I don't know, man. He was so good last year, and then I don't know what happened, dude.
Yeah.
It's like Angels luck.
Uppercase B asked if what's our opinion on Jose Suarez? What do we think?
That's tough. Like,
He seems fun. Seems fun at parties.
he seems cool, but what is he? A 5-starter?
Nope.
I don't know. That's being generous.
I
Yep.
don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know.
Garbage time relief pitcher.
I've always would have liked to see Jose Suarez out of the pen, but probably not gonna happen.
He's shown flashes of being an okay starter.
He's a knockoff Quijada.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong.
His ERA's his ERA is 5 right now, and he's not striking much people out. So yeah,
Stroman downfall's awesome. Love it.
That's
Yeah.
what's crazy is I wanted Stroman probably the most out of everybody, just because I felt like, and obviously it's gonna bite me now saying this now, but I feel like he was I felt like he was a guy that fit the organization well. He wasn't gonna be a ton of money. He was gonna get paid less than, at least I thought, than Robbie Ray and Rodon, but obviously I was wrong. But I wanted him the most out of everybody, and thank goodness Perry didn't pull the trigger on that one.
I was pissed when Stroman, signed
Oh,
somewhere
I was
else.
so mad. I was.
how old is Jose Suarez?
He's pretty
28?
young. It's like
Or maybe I'm tripping out.
late 20s.
Maybe I'm
He
wrong.
might be younger than that, actually.
Oh, he's 24. What?
Okay, so
Yeah.
I see him 5-starter, but yeah, that I don't know, man. I don't see him much better than I don't see
I
him
think
going
he's
crazy.
in his role right now.
Yeah, in
Back
his
and
role
forth
right
between
now.
AAA, make a
Yeah.
spot start every once in a while.
Future
Yeah.
Royal.
That's where I see him.
Future Royal. Yeah.
They always have those lefty guys that just go back at it's all the time. I feel like.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Y'all think Bubic is a Cy Young pitcher? Someone asked that.
If he pitched
Against
against
the
the
Angels.
Angels every night.
Yeah. Yep.
Anybody could be a Cy Young candidate
Dude.
if you pitch against the Angels every night.
There's a cheat code on Prize Picks. You just take the over of strikeouts against for the starter that's facing the Angels, and you get a free spot every night.
That's true.
Just go on Prize Picks, man. That's all you got to do. Whatever it is.
Fernando says thoughts on Justin Upton. We could use him right now, especially since we're paying $30 million for having him play on a different team. At the beginning of the year, it was kind of the right position to let him walk because we have a young guy like Adell and Brennan Marsh, and do you want to bench a 30 million, player? But at the end of the day, we could have used him right now, other than Juan Lagares. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
I think it backfired the DFA.
Yeah,
sure.
kind of,
Yeah.
right?
And he was killing it in
Absolutely.
spring.
He
People
did have
forget.
a good spring and healthy, and he was kind of not too healthy his couple years with the Halos. So
That was the move that I was like, okay, Perry's not messing around. And then
Yeah.
I say that now, and then he has Juan Lagares and Tyler Reed on the same roster.
What happened? Did he lose his spine? Like, I was impressed.
Maybe it was never there.
If you guys want to have fun going to an Angels game, sit up in the 400s, have a good view of where Perry sits every game, and just watch him like lean over like the side, and you'll see him like slap something or like bang his knee, or then he'll go like this, or he'll like start like shaking his leg. Oh, it's awesome. It's so much
I
fun
like
to
when he
watch.
stands there like this.
is he at every game?
Just kind of.
Oh, every game. Every
Kind
game.
of
I've
looks
been
like
to, I've
that
seen
one
him.
with the guy with the
And
cell
he's
phone.
and he sits in the suites.
He has his own box, and his kids are in there every now and then.
Which one?
But it's one down to the left of the broadcasting booth.
Okay, so yeah,
So
I'll look for him.
you'll see him.
see him on
I
TV
mean,
a lot.
Seen him.
Just look for the little guy wearing the same outfit every day, and then just look at if you see someone mad, then it's most likely Perry.
I like a GM like that though.
Oh, I do too. It shows fire, but I mean, if you have Juan Lagares on the roster, there's no fire that you're bringing.
Yeah. And Justin
Yeah.
Upton would have been a better, we could use him right now. And I hate to see a guy get paid $30 million to play elsewhere.
Yep, I agree.
Well, and it's always, why is it always a team that we hate that picks him up? Albert
always a
Pujols
division
on the
rival,
Dodgers,
man.
or Justin Upton on the Mariners, Josh Hamilton on the Rangers.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Hamilton didn't really sting. I mean, he was horrible.
He had a decent stretch when he came back with the Rangers.
I would
Yeah.
argue that he's probably a worse contract than Rendon and Pujols.
Well, Rendon, in terms of he's been decently productive. Like the Angels play better with him in the lineup. The numbers kind of don't show it this year really, but if he's healthy, he's gonna be good. I love Rendon. I think he's a great option on the team. He just can't stay healthy.
I think it goes.
Rendon, baby.
I'm so sorry.
Oh yeah, Rendon City Connect. That's funny.
Yes, sir.
I'm so sorry.
I ordered
think
it when he was still healthy.
I think the order, honestly, for worst contracts goes Hamilton, Rendon, because of the money. I think how much you're paying him, and then he's always hurt. Pujols even produced his first few years.
Pujols, we had a little
I
bit
think
He
of
had
that.
300 home runs as an agent,
Yeah.
or not 300, like
But
200 home runs.
Pujols
as an agent.
handicapped us more than any of the other two.
I think Rendon is going to be better
No.
than Pujols signing because he still has how many more years left? 3 more years
He's
left?
3.
4?
Four?
Okay, 4.
Oh,
It was a
dude.
7-year deal, bro.
So he'll be
7 years,
healthy.
245.
He'll be healthy in March if he puts together 4 years of Anthony Rendon baseball. Then we'll love him.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, he's getting older. I don't have much faith. So I don't know, but at the end of the day, I think Hamilton's back to what I was saying. I think Hamilton's the worst contract we've ever had.
Yeah, Hamilton's the worst, man.
Yeah.
I really do.
Because I remember 2014 playoffs, he was 0 for 17 in the playoffs.
So was
against the
everybody
Royals.
else on the team. I think
mean,
the
yeah.
only people.
Trout
So I was
working
at
for
both
money.
of the
The
games
only
at
guy
Angel
that was
Stadium.
hitting.
Yeah,
Me too. I was there.
Chris Iannetta hit a solo home run. David Freese hit a
Chris
solo
Iannetta.
home run.
Man, I remember that.
I
That is a
think
name.
that's
Um,
pretty much it. And then
And
Trout
I-
hit a solo home run in Game 3.
Howie Kendrick was also the only guy hitting in that series.
I miss
I
him
miss
so
Howie,
much.
bro. Bring
Yeah.
I
Howie
love
back.
to see him. I love
Bring
to
him
see him
back.
go and win the Nationals a championship.
Bro,
man.
oh my god, when he hit that home run off the foul pole, I was so hyped.
Dude, that was
literally, I was so
amazing, man.
happy for
I
him.
loved
But
it.
It
the
was such a
best
fun
one
World
was the
Series.
grand slam to silence Dodger Stadium.
The
To silence a
Dodgers.
sold out, packed Dodger Stadium. Moonshot grand slam off Joe. And it was like bases loaded, nobody
Man.
out. Oh, they're probably going to score a run here. And then it's a grand slam and it's game over.
Oh, that was
Dude,
awesome.
Howie has got to go down as one of the most underrated players.
Seriously.
baseball history. Like, you go take a look at that guy's numbers. Pretty good, man. And not too many people talked about him too much when he was, you know, a major leaguer for, I think he was 15 plus
We
years.
traded him at the deadline, right?
We traded him at the end of 2014 for Andrew Heaney. After
Yes.
we
The
lost to the
Dodgers.
Royals.
The Dodgers. Yeah.
Yeah.
For Andrew Heaney.
I remember it was a big day when he got traded. I remember when random name.
'Cause he was a
Alberto
Marlin.
Casper, I remember when he got traded.
Dude. Dude, and talking about that, let's talk about this guy, Roberto Baldwin. I think that's how you say his name. You guys remember him? We signed him internationally for like $80 million.
He was the reason we couldn't sign Vlad Jr. or Tatis or Acuna or Soto.
We signed Roberto Baldwin for like $80 million internationally, and he never played a game, I don't think.
Oh,
Yep.
man.
He was supposed to be our guy. He was supposed to be our Acuna. Our Vlad
He was supposed
Jr.
to be the next shortstop to take Eric Ibar's spot, and it never happened.
I miss Ibar too. That's another guy I miss.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
liked Ibar a lot. Ibar was so much fun to watch. He had like that's another guy that had fire. We don't have that.
We'll see what happens, but it's
Angels baseball's
2:38
frustrating.
a.m. here on the East Coast, and Frank and I still got to record Good Morning Baseball, so I think that's gonna do it for us tonight, boys. I appreciate
no
you guys
worries.
hopping on with me, man. It's we'll do more of these for sure, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Even if I'm not here for some, one of you guys will host it one of these days. But I did not shout you guys out whatsoever. But this is Ty. This is Ty Guy. He does Angels content as well. Ty Guy, you can type in the chat. They can find your channel. He just started doing Angels content, so he's new to Angels Baseball YouTube. And then just above me here, we got my boy Light Skin Chris. You guys know Light Skin Chris, MLB The Show content creator. Just released that Reed Detmers card, the Future Stars card. Yeah.
And then he gets sent down today, man.
Yeah, I know, man. He's
Oh,
a
dude,
future
I want-
star. It's
But
a
Reed is
future
still
star
really
for a
young.
reason.
He's still really young. He'll be good.
Exactly. So hit up my boys, Light Skin Chris and Ty Guy. Frank does not have a YouTube channel yet, but he is co-hosting Good Morning Baseball. So check that out at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about the Angels, but we try to talk about all the teams. So appreciate everybody watching who came out to the live stream. And thanks to the boys for coming on and talking with me. Everybody have a great rest of your night, and we'll see you guys all in the next one.
Hey, you guys take care. Have a good night.
Have a good night, everybody.
Yeah, you
Yep.
too.